somebody off.
So you decided to pull back.
Right, let's do it. Go live. Let's do it. How's everybody doing? Shout out where you're from. Hold on, let me get my mic here. Shout out where you're from today. Hey there, hey. Hey, my best friend is on there. Hi to see you guys. Good to see all of you. Say hi to me. Bro, get off my live. What's going on, Jesse? You know we always got something to talk about, Jesse. We good now. That's right. You're from Virginia? What part of Virginia? Las Vegas? Chicago? California? Cali in the house? Raleigh, North Carolina? What are you doing right now? Here's what I want to know. Other than where you're from, what are you doing right now? Where are you? Are you in the house? Are you in the kitchen? Are you in bed? Are you at a restaurant? What's going on? All right, let's see. We already got some questions rolling in, so you know how I do. I'm going to just go ahead and get into it. My boyfriend doesn't respect my boundaries at all and wants to show up out of nowhere, so I have to have my location on all the time. Well, it sounds like you're giving up your boundaries, right? How can he respect your boundaries if you're not respecting your boundaries? If we're just going to be honest. If you are giving him your location to find you wherever, whenever, and he's taking advantage of that, then turn off your location. You know? Now, here's the thing. I'm not telling you what to do, but in order to have your boundaries respected, you have to demand respect, right? And you have to create consequences. So as long as you don't create consequences and as long as you're not holding to your standards and boundaries, he's not going to do it either. So you're going to have to not allow someone to step over it. Having boundaries is one thing. Enforcing boundaries is another thing. And if you don't enforce those boundaries, there's no point in even having them because people are not going to respect you unless you show them how to respect you, right? Just saying it sometimes is not enough. You got to also act on it. Eating a waffle with pearl sugar? What the heck is pearl sugar? London in my bed. Oh, yeah, it's later in the UK. Yeah. Newport News, let's go. I'm in Richmond. At the airport from London. Yo, what is everybody doing in London? My material getting to London? I love that. I am eating, just got home from work. Well, I'm glad I could be here to ease your day from work. Just follow me with the subtle sounds of Xavier on 5 p.m. EST on WBLS. I'm just kidding. I hope they don't clip that. Reclining, watching the news. Answer me. I like how she didn't even ask. She was just like, answer me. This is how I move on from a man who was 10-10 chemistry and connected and got ghosted. Well, chemistry doesn't mean commitment. Chemistry doesn't mean compatibility. Chemistry just means a spark was lit, there was a feeling, but it doesn't mean that this necessarily is the person for you. And I would say that if you're able to disconnect from a person that you have good chemistry with, but you have bad compatibility with, which is your long-term goals, values, and your principles, what your morals, if you're able to break off because of those things, then that makes you a much better partner for a future person. If you can't fight chemistry, then I'm sorry. To me, that sounds like you're not ready for a quality relationship. You're ready for a fling. Because chemistry works for a fling. It works for situationships. It works for friends with benefits. It does not work in a long-term relationship chemistry alone. You need to have structure. You need to have long-term, big-term goals, macro-level goals in alignment. So what I would say is think about that when you're thinking about chemistry as opposed to all the other things that you're blocking off. Enjoying first coffee of a new day. Dang. It's a new day for some. Some people just getting home. Some people it's late at night. I was SA'd and I contacted my ex after I needed familiarity and comfort. He then started saying how he was angry with me and an idiot for letting a guy in my house and doesn't get it. Help, I love him. Well, I hate to say it, but your boyfriend doesn't sound very compassionate and he doesn't sound empathetic. So I understand that you love this man for the reasons that you do, but if he can't support you through this very terrible time and at least, because in no way is that your fault. You know what I mean? That's like saying it's your fault for what another man did to you that you didn't know was going to happen is weird. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if you want to continue loving that man because clearly he's not loving you right now. How do you know when someone is a narcissist with so many content about narcissism? How do you know when someone is actually a narcissist when you can feel it but you don't have clear proof? That's the thing. You can't have clear proof unless you go get them diagnosed, right? So what you do is you can say they have narcissistic behaviors, right? But like you said, you might be going to too many different sources. There's a lot of different creators that talk about it now, and that could be very confusing because everybody's giving their own tea on it. So what you'll want to do is find one that you trust more than the others and stick with that. But also don't assign everything to narcissism, right? Assign things to bad behaviors. Because sometimes calling them a narcissist, and I know I say this in my content all the time, but I'm going to be real with you guys. Sometimes calling these people a narcissist is giving them way too much leverage. Saying that they have a mental disorder and that's the reason why they're doing this, a lot of these people don't. A lot of these people are just evil and they just operate in an evil spirit. So to say like, oh, well, they're just a narcissist almost makes it sound like, well, if I diagnose it and if we work on it, it's like any mental health. Like you just take a pill and it's done. That's not the case. A lot of people just have bad behaviors, and calling them a narcissist actually makes it worse because then it makes it sound like this is normal. You know, it's not. They should be taking accountability. They should not be doing this. They're perfectly capable of stopping, and they're very aware of what they're doing to you. So narcissist or not, they need to be held accountable for their behaviors, right? Narcissist or not. And I hear people say, well, they don't know that they're doing it. I make posts about this all the time. They know 100% they're doing it to you. Saying it's a mental illness to be narcissistic doesn't mean that they're exempt from knowing that they're hurting you. So that's what I would say. It doesn't matter whether you know or not. What matters is you're looking at the behaviors. So just say, I don't like this behavior. If they're choosing not to see it, then they don't take accountability, you're done, right? I mean, there's not much you could do. Trying to give them some assigned label as a potential excuse for their behavior is what's going to hurt you in the long run. You deserve better than that. I got a question, please. I talked with a guy. I liked him. Then we didn't text each other for about 6 months. And now, through his cousin, he texted me, but I was cold. And now I wanted to. I don't know what you want. You say that you liked him, but you didn't talk to each other for 6 months. Why didn't you talk for 6 months? And now he's reaching out again, and you were cold? Are you like avoidant or something? Like what is that about? Like why don't you just go with it? What's stopping you? Dating a cool guy, really like him, already see signs that he's not the best with what? I enforced my boundaries and lost a guy. That means that he wasn't the guy for you. Congratulations. Congratulations. If you enforce boundaries and a dude leaves you, you just made room for your husband. Congratulations. He should be on the way now, right? Husband is on the way. So you gave up a boy for a man. I just got out of a 10-year relationship with the father of my child. It's hard to co-parent. Okay. My ex-husband cheated and I divorced him and he has stopped talking to me. I'm the first one that divorced him. So he married her, so why can't he talk to me? Why do you want him to talk to you after you divorced him? If you guys don't have kids together and you divorced him, and why do you need to still talk? I don't understand that one. I'm in Arizona, just picked up my twins from preschool. Well, I hope your twins had a great day of preschool. I got a question, please. I talked with a guy, I liked him. Yeah, all right, You should just text him. That was my problem with my twin's father, chemistry and low compatibility. That's a problem with a lot of people. A lot of people base a lot of their decisions on a relationship off of chemistry and not compatibility. And you're going to face consequences if you do that, because the odds of that turning into compatibility, because you have to understand, chemistry isn't really something that's quantifiable. You know, compatibility can be quantified, right? Chemistry can just be random. It's an emotion, it's a spark, but it doesn't always promise it's going to be there. See, compatibility can always be there as long as you guys continue to serve in the right ways, you see? So you kind of want to base it more off compatibility than chemistry. We have a 5-month-old. Since having him, I feel like he's manipulative narcissist. I feel like I opened my eyes. Should I leave? I don't know what makes him narcissistic. I can't tell you to leave if I don't know the details. My relationship was good. After that, he doesn't love you no more and he blocked me. Why my ex-husband did me wrong? What did he do? Hey, Cassandra. Cassandra, I don't know how to say your name. I have a question. My BF has been distant from 1 month. He says it's because of financial stress. He keeps touch virtually, but barely meets. Is it because he's falling out of love? Well, here's the thing. He might actually be having financial stress, right? My question would be, what type of financial stress is he having? You know, when some people are going through it financially, it can be depressing. It's hard times now. So if you don't have the money or the finances, that can be really tough to deal with. That's what all of us need, right? To like survive. So I don't think that he's falling out of love. If that's the truth, he might just need you to be supportive right now and you know, be there for him. But it's also his job to still, you know, make sure that he lets you know and reassures you that you're being loved. My ex-husband did me wrong. I'm divorcing him. Mary disappeared, want to talk. Why? Because you divorced him. If you divorce someone or you break up with someone, that could be the potential consequences. They're never going to talk to you again. And he got a whole new person. So he's supposed to go back to his ex. You know, he got a whole new woman. He married someone else. You divorced him. And he did what he was supposed to do. He moved on, which I would highly suggest that you do as well. Because why are you still looking for him? Why did you divorce him if you were just going to, you know, hang on? Widowed, 38 with 3 kids, and recently started dating someone who seems less ambitious as I'm used to. Is it fair to be upfront and ask questions? Yeah, you have to. I would say in any healthy relationship, you have to be straight up. Now, you can deliver with love. Always deliver with love, because some people, you know, tone is everything. But yeah, you should be able to say how you honestly feel. But here's the question is, why does the ambitiousness, the lack of ambition bother you, right? Because if that person is healthy in other ways, maybe ambition, and I don't know what department they're lacking ambition in, but you have to understand every relationship is give and take. So if there's certain things that this person is offering, if they're offering like 80 to 90% of the pie and the 10% is ambition, but they're a good person to you and they love you for you, they support you, they work with you through your transitions, then maybe you might be asking for too much too. You know, it's the 80-20 rule. You're going to give up the 80% for the 20%? Not saying you should, but just being realistic, you know? Do you think setting boundaries in a long-term relationship has a chance of success? Yes, way more. If you don't, that's the only way you can have a successful relationship. Boundaries are not to keep the wrong people out. See, that's the thing. That's how we think of it. I'm going to keep bad people out. Now, that's one of the bonuses. The point of boundaries is to keep the right people in. The right people, the right person wants to know how to love you in your entirety. They want to learn how to love you from head to toe. They want to learn your no's and your yeses, your wants and your dislikes. The only way I can love you is if you tell me your boundaries. It's not just all about being yes people, because that's not really you. What should I do with my relationship with him if he doesn't love me no more? You might want to give it up. I mean, if you're not loved, then why are you here? Why do you want to be somewhere where you're not loved? Life is too short for that. You only get like 75 to 80 years of this, maybe, right? You want to spend another year being with someone who doesn't love you when there's a chance someone could love you for everything that you are? Why do men wrong you but act mad at you? Because they think they can get away with it. I have a 5-month-old and I've opened my eyes to a lot of things. And I realize he's narcissist, very male manipulative, and I'm wondering if I should just walk away. It's been 5 years. Well, I don't know the behaviors exactly. So based on what you're telling me, if you say he's manipulative, then maybe you should walk away and no longer, have to deal with this, But I can't say for sure because I don't know the exact behavior. So I don't know. But I mean, if you say it, then I'll take your word for it. Why do men pull back when I tell them for work? What? Does work affect love life? Ideal cement between. I don't know. I think you might. The way you're wording this might be confusing to me. I might need that worded differently. You inspired me to leave my narc husband of 8 years. Congratulations. I waited till he went out of town and fled. Now I'm filing for divorce. Thank you for giving me the courage. Absolutely. I love to hear it. And I love that you feel better now. That's all that matters. I've helped several women get out of narcissistic relationships and marriages and end up in much better situations. So I've helped them navigate to shelters and to places where, because they were being abused by their husbands. Like I actually have actively done that for several women. So it's always a privilege to hear that I've been able to help with that process. How can you spend 10 years with someone and they move on and act like they don't know? I don't know. I think it takes a special kind of person, or it takes a certain amount of stuff that's happened. Can I ask you a question? My ex has new supply and left me for dead, basically, and now he's being nice in regards to kids. I can't even speak to him. What is his intentions? I kind of know, but I don't know because I don't know the details, right? If he left you, why did he leave you? What happened in your relationship that he wanted to just walk away? How do you know if you're compatible? You're compatible because of more than just feelings. If you just look at feelings, that's not true compatibility. That's just an emotional connection, right? I would say that's a small piece of the pie. Still a piece, still a very important piece, but small. You need to know if you align on values, right? How do you look at marriage? How do you look at kids? How do you look at life? What are your plans? What do you plan to live? What do you plan to do? What are your long-term goals, right? Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? What's important to you? Are you both, do you both believe you need to have a relationship with God? Do you both believe that marriage is sacred? Do you believe in open relationships? Are you poly? Do you believe in atheism? Like bigger picture stuff you have to align on in order to say you're compatible. If you don't, then you're not compatible. How can I help my husband see his mom is manipulating him when all he sees is that that's just how my mom is? His dad trains his son to ignore their mom's crazy and excuse their... Well, it sounds like he already sees it. He's just choosing to ignore it. When he says that's how my mom just is, that's a clear indicator that he knows exactly what his mom is doing. He just doesn't care. See? There's a difference. A lot of these guys know what is happening. He's not dumb, right? He gets it. He knows what his mom is doing is wrong. It just doesn't bother him. And he's not considering how it makes you feel either. So there's not much you could do but tell him it bothers you. And he needs to choose you over his mom. When it comes to wife comes before mom. I'm sorry. In my opinion, wife comes before my family. Now, of course, if there's unreasonable, we'll discuss that. But it's my wife comes first. So if he's not looking at it like that and he's giving her passes on acting a certain way towards you and she's being unfair and unreasonable and it's bothering you and he doesn't heed to that, then hey, I don't know what to tell you, right? Maybe this isn't the right husband for you. Why do some men who show interest in me automatically pull back when I tell them what I do for work? I supply cement to contractors. That's where I am at the moment. It's a big deal, but I'm not there yet. I don't know. I don't know what that, I don't know why they would pull back from that. Is there something about your job? Does it require a lot of your time and energy and focus? Because, maybe there's that, right? I don't know why a dude would be like, you supply cement. That's horrible. Like, I don't know where the red flag is in that. My ex lies all of the time, lie to everyone. Well, that's why he's your ex. And he should stay there. I've been in a relationship and it's always about him. And he tells me how girls are flirting with him. No, we took a break from each other and it's okay to take a break for the relationship. Well, he's telling you what he thinks he can get away with saying to you. So if he's telling you that and he's telling your girls are flirting with him and you're not putting a stop to that and putting it in check, then he's going to keep doing it. He's only going to do what he thinks he's allowed to do. 100% agree with you. Let's go. How do you love yourself in a relationship in order to not lose yourself in the relationship? You have to actively do what is important to you outside of what that other person wants, right? Loving yourself is through action, not words. It's not just sitting there saying, I love myself. How are you actively showing yourself that you love yourself, right? Do you choose yourself when you're being treated unfair? Do you show up for yourself? Do you stop procrastinating? Do you take care of things? Do you pour into yourself? Are you maintaining yourself? Are you getting yourself worked on? Are you gaining knowledge and awareness? Are you educating yourself? See, loving yourself is more than just saying it. It's more than just a nail appointment or the gym. It's actively doing more things to grow as an individual. So loving yourself in a relationship means I'm still working on my growth as an individual so that I can meet you at a place where we can grow together. So hopefully that helps. I tried to set boundaries and he backs away. Why? Because he doesn't like you with boundaries. You with boundaries is a different personality than you without boundaries, and he doesn't want that. Is it true that narcs genuinely tell you everything they hate about your character when they decide to break up with you? All the things you seem to celebrate, you now hate them? Yeah. In fact, that's how they set it up from the beginning. The things they like about you in the beginning, they end up hating later. So just look at the things that they said they liked about you. 90% of it, they're probably going to hate about you at some point. Why do men say they still need you because he's lonely, but he cheated and is playing family to a woman he cheated with? Well, because he's using you, right? He still needs you because he's using you to fill the gap of his loneliness. He's using you and another woman in order to fill the gap of his loneliness. He doesn't actually value you or your time or your energy. He doesn't even look at you as a person to be invested in. He looks at you as a person of use. When you're answering my questions through this live, that's what I'm here for. What you do for women, I applaud you. Thank you. Been doing this for years, so I enjoy it. Maybe they think there's a lot of men around. I don't know what you mean by that. Thank you for your guidance. See you next time. Okay. How to get over my ex-narcissist boyfriend that abandoned me while pregnant with his first child. That's going to be a process, right? I would say people in the chat can probably fill in because that's going to be a long-winded answer. But what I would say is, if you were to ask me about a big situation like that, I would say see a coach such as myself, and we can work through talking about what that looks like for you. So I want to give that more attention than just a live. I would say if that's something that you want to invest in, then we can work together. Is it true men can be jealous of their girlfriends? 100%. Yeah, and it's true that men can be in competition with their girlfriends. If they see that you have tenacity, ambitious, purpose, and you do everything right and people love you for it, sheesh. They will try to tear you down. You got to be careful of insecure men. They're some of the worst. When I see you're live, I drop in and listen because I know we're in for some gold nuggets. Great, so thanks. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Absolutely. I'm here to serve, y'all. I'm here to serve. Narc is very jealous of me and tries to humble me, so yes. I'm sorry about that. You always speak facts. Thank you for your work. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for saying that. What's going on, Megan? Megan with the speaker. Yeah, we may need to take this to a one-on-one. Yeah. Well, hey, I got available spaces for one-on-one. I got a few spaces left. I think like 2. So if you want to get it, go ahead and DM me the hashtag word ready, and I can get you hooked up. I maybe have 2 spaces left. Let me check. Yeah, it's a wonderful world out here in today's dating era, right? It's a wonderful world out here in today's dating era. We're all trying to figure out. Honestly, you want to know how to get through most of this game? I'm going to give you free game right now. Don't sleep with someone for at least 3 to 4 months. 3 to 4 months, don't sleep with them. It doesn't guarantee anything, but it evens up the score. Because let me tell you, a lot of these selfish dudes that just want to mess around, that have no intention of, taking things seriously with you, a lot of them are going to drop off. They're going to drop off. Their energy is going to suck. They're not going to communicate. They're not going to have much to talk about because that's all they got. They always ask women, what do you bring to the table? A lot of these dudes don't bring anything to the table other than sleeping with you and playing games. So you got to be careful of those dudes too. A lot more people need to scale back on how much we're sleeping with people that we are intentional with. I'm not saying it's a one size fits all. I know some people are like, well, I slept with someone in the first night and we had a relationship for 10 years. Yeah, but a lot of people don't work that way, right? I'm not going to talk about the exception stories. I'm going to talk about the majority of what I've seen, right? And I have a hard time seeing people who have held off from sleeping with someone, but a lot of people don't want to stop sleeping with people. That's one of the realest problems that we have right now. You say you want someone, and we say we want wholesome people and we want people to love us for us, and we sleep with them within 24, 48 hours or literally 2-3 weeks. Like, we gotta start pulling back on this stuff, man, because we're giving them too much. Like, we're giving way too much up. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, right? I'm not shaming the game. I'm very positive about it. But I'm just saying, for the sake of discernment, I think it's a better idea to weed people out and to vet them out by their personality more than intimacy. Intimacy is way too soon. Think of that as a reward and a bonus, right? They get that for good behavior, right? Once we've solidified more. But I know a lot of people are not going to want to hear that, right? I'm going to lose some viewers on that because people are like, I don't want to have to stop. Well, you want great things, but you don't want to have to make sacrifices. And what life do we live in where better things don't come without some type of sacrifice? I hate it too. You know what I'm saying? I hate it too. I probably attract only insecure men. I don't know. I don't know how that's happening to you. I'm hurting deeply. I want a husband to heal together, but I feel men changed. I've been so abused. I have my issues, but I do love so much. Well, here's the thing. I would say you'd be better off wanting to heal on your own before inviting a man in. Now, it's not saying that you can't heal with a man as well, but you're so much more powerful as a force on your own. And, I'm sorry that you've gone through all of this, but what I would say is I would focus on my own healing first. And I would try to become more powerful as an individual. So then when someone meets me, I don't feel like I need them. I'm not saying that you do, but that love needs to be preserved for someone that deserves it. You know what I mean? Or for someone that is willing to earn it. How do you prevent from carrying the emotional abuse into the next experience? Therapy. Therapy and coaching. People like me, right? Invest in yourself, right? Invest. And I carry out deals now. I have deals for people who don't have the greatest finances, who are not in a situation where they can supply a lot. I can work with you, right? But I would say people like me, don't sit there and then try to figure it out on your own. Sometimes we need help. I got where I am because of help. A lot of people have gotten where they have because of people I've helped. Get help. Don't be too proud, right? It's okay. And let's reach out and let's work together, okay? I still reach out for help for people I need help from. That's the name of the game. You need people, right? People with good intentions that have a. I have people in this chat right now that will tell you they've worked with me, that know that I come with a genuine concern, right? My ex has remarried, but somehow I still feel stuck at the point where we split. Divorce was finalized over a year. How do I move? You need to work with somebody, right? Let's work together. Let's figure out why that's happening together. If they are easy for you, they are easy for the rest. Hey, go, go, go. What's going on, girl? Internal energy. I always am a fan of your name on here. If it interferes with your inner peace, it's too damn expensive. Always put your peace first in every choice you make, period. 100%. He's helping me. See, there you go. We got a celebrity in the chat, Miss Jessie Story Music. So if you guys have time, go ahead and check out her singing abilities are absolutely amazing. She makes great music. I looked up some of her music on Apple Music the other day. I'm privileged to be working with her. I always love when I get a celeb on board. So appreciate working with you, Jessie. We go ahead and keep looking. What was I about to do? Oh. What if you've done all the therapy, literally all of it? I'm autistic in school, and I'm doing all I can, nearly destroyed. Well, then keep going. Keep going. Because I would say it's a journey, right? Not a destination. There'll never be enough. And I'm sorry that you feel fatigued from how much you've done. I can understand that. I've had to go through probably 8 different therapists. And the person that helped me the most was a licensed marriage counselor. So I understand it can be draining and it can be fatigued, but you deserve more all the time. Till this day, I'm still working on myself. I'm still learning about where I'm falling short and where my thoughts are not exactly aligned with the betterment of my journey, right? So it's a never-ending journey. But that's what's beautiful about this journey is we're all forever growing until we pass. That's my opinion. Work with Xavier, ladies. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. See, I told y'all we got people in the chat. They showing up because we show up for each other, right? It's always good energy. Definitely helpful to stay strong and understand what is happening. 100%. Watching from Kenya. Dang, Kenya, let's go. Xavier is very genuine, excellent coach, very transparent. Thank you so much. Thank y'all so much for the compliments today. I didn't know how many of you were actually on here. I saw like one of y'all. I didn't know. You're too sweet. Thank you. I appreciate you. Absolutely. All right, we're still rocking and rolling, okay? We're not just getting caught up in thank yous today. I caught my boyfriend twice on a dating app, and he said that's because I blocked him. And we got into a fight. I broke up with him, but did I do the right choice? When you blocked him, see, here's the thing. If you're still together, you shouldn't be blocking him, and he shouldn't be on dating apps. I'll just go there. I don't think you did anything wrong by saying I'm gonna dump you now, right? For being on a dating app, because clearly he's out there searching. So I don't blame you for that. However, I would say, why would you block him if you guys are in a relationship? Because even if you say, well, he was breaking my boundaries, then let's say that he breaks your boundaries, and maybe that's a reason to break up, right? So I normally would say don't block someone unless you're ready to break up. Blocking can be pretty heavy to do to a partner. I'm just saying. There's always a chance that can end in a breakup. Wow, Xavier, you went through this? Girl, I was crazy. Yeah, I was crazy. I had to go through a lot of healing. I'm not saying this from a place of I'm better. I'm saying this from a place of I used to be like y'all, if not worse. Trust me, I was in here, I was asking all the questions that you were asking. All this stuff. Well, why doesn't she call me? Why didn't she text me? Why she treat me like this? Why she lying to me? I've gotten lied on so many times. Like I had a woman tell me that she had an abusive man in another country that she was trying to break up with and kept me on the hook for a year. And then was like, toward the end of the year said, I'm gonna get with him. And then she got married. I was getting played the whole year. So yeah, I have been there, done that. It stinks. I know how y'all feel. Yeah, I got cooked too in this. But then I was also on the other side where I was the manipulator in my earlier life, right? Where I did a lot of the manipulation. I didn't do something like that, but I definitely did a lot of gaslighting and, lying, a lot of stuff like that, a lot of dictatorship, control. So I've been on both sides. That's why I can tell you from both. I can tell you how to heal from it. I can tell you how to work through it. And I can also tell you what the other person is thinking, right? But yeah, she had to be good to play me like that because, I know game. But that one got past me, man. I thought I was in there. That's crazy. But we learn, If anything, it made me value peace so much more. I don't have anything against anyone. And I appreciate the journey regardless. Can you please follow me back and text me? Text you? Why? Can you send me a DM? You send me a DM. Send me a DM and I'll see it. We broke up for one day because he was so toxic and emotionally unstable, but he ran to the app saying he was waiting for me to find him and talk to him. Well, that's weird. I'd say that's a reason to break up right there. So he No, he's lying. No way. He ran. That doesn't make any sense. I'm like, wait a minute. He just manipulated me. he almost got me with that one. I was like, wait a minute. Think about how that sounds right now. He was being toxic and emotionally unstable, so y'all broke up. He immediately jumps on the dating app within a day. And then he says he was only on there because he hoped you would find him. Why would he assume that you're on a dating app and you're trying to find him? How does that even work? Yo, that man is lying to you, girl. That man is lying to you. That's like those dudes that go to the strip club and they're like, yo, I was only there because of the steak. I didn't even know it was a strip club. Like, I honestly thought you was coming too. I was just here because of the steak. I didn't know. Why I got sparkles on me? Oh, it's because, Hennessy just did a trick on me. And I had no idea. I was not even there for real. Like, I wasn't even in the building. I was in there, but I wasn't really in there. You know what I mean? Like, we could get back together now, okay? Can we argue again? Like, yo, he got me with that one. Dang, that's a new manipulation strategy I ain't never heard. Let me tell you, the manipulations, the reason why I have endless content, this is one of the reasons why. Because there will always be some bro that comes up with something I ain't heard of yet. Yeah, I was hoping you would find me on there. Crazy, right? I'm so glad that you know about the dating app because I was hoping you would know. Oh my God. Are y'all hearing that? Like, that was... Wow, yo, I've never heard that one. I was like, wait a minute. You help us see what we are doing wrong also so we don't continue the pattern. That's what matters more. What matters more, right? And let me tell you, I love that you said that so much, Jesse, is that you see what you're doing. Because there's always going to be new manipulators. Look at them. They're evolving. They're creating new techniques and new habits every day. You can't know every single manipulation. You can know a good amount. I can coach you on, a lot of them, but they're going to come up with something new. But you see how when I heard that, I didn't just sit with it and believe it. I questioned it, the logic, and it didn't make sense, right? Now, maybe he actually believes that, and that's the craziest thing I've ever heard. But you see how I had a moment where I stopped myself and I said, hold on, let me put two and two together. Something sound off right there. You know what I mean? That's what y'all have to do. Y'all got to have that in you. But sometimes that takes practice. You got to know yourself. You have to know yourself more than you know these manipulators. You can learn all of this and read all of these books. But if you don't know yourself, you're always going to be a potential victim to it. We got to take you out of being a victim to it because it's always going to be something new. Hey, I'm glad you called me on a dating app. I was hoping you would find me there. So crazy, right? Let's get back together. Any advice? I just met a man on the second date. On the second date, he was telling me I was the love of his life and that he was in love with me. Skirt. Calm down. Told his family he met his person. All right. No. Hold on. I got you. Let me tell you something, girl. I got your back. Because I usually can't argue with this, right? And let me tell you why. Because a lot of you will say, well, he's love bombing you. And this is manipulation. Maybe, right? But let me help you out. Maybe it's not. I do believe that there are few people that exist that just know that this is their person. You see it on the internet all the time. There's somebody that says, I went on a date with this guy for the second time. That's my husband. And they just know it. That's my wife. And they just know it and it comes true, right? So maybe it's true. But here's what I would say. Hold off intimacy for 3 to 4 months and let's see if he keeps the same energy. I'm telling y'all the keys right now. You want to find out if he's in love with you right now, then that means he doesn't need intimacy right now. He loves you off what he's seen so far, right? He's loved you off the bare minimum that he's seen so far, off second date material. If second date energy is good enough, then you don't have to escalate that for 3 to 4 months. You can become friends. You can be friendly and the love is still gonna be there. So if you want to test this, right? Whether I'm right or wrong, whether he's right or wrong, whether it's manipulation or not, give it some time. Let me tell you something, ladies, whenever a dude says I love you and it's within the first or second date, put him to the test. Because a man who really loves you is gonna be okay with that. He's gonna be okay with that. But you gotta believe that you're worth that too. I'm gonna be honest with you. You gotta believe that you're worth waiting for. And you gotta believe that, that you're not gonna give into your urges either. Take some time. I think I've been on both sides, but I lost my way more. Why do many men reject me or don't approach me? Why do few men miss me? How do I maintain my self-worth if so many men can't see it? That's a large question. I don't know. I'd have to learn about you. Sounds like you need sessions with me. That's a lot of questions without me having much context about you. That's context-driven questions. We need to figure out how to get some context worked in there. Y'all stories is why I want to be single. Do you find people who have unhealed trauma and probably borderline personality disorder and history of substance abuse can change once the relationship is over? Man, let me tell you, a person with just one of those things can change regardless. That's a lot of specifics. That's like a concoction, right? That's a cocktail of things. I think that a person with just one of those things can change regardless of whether they break up with you or not. If they're dealing with substance abuse or mental health issues, yeah, that affects a lot of people from anything. That make people lose their minds. They have psychotic episodes. I don't think it can be attached to one specific thing. I think it's more like you just never know what's going to happen. If you date a person that has a lot of these things going on, then there's always a possibility that if it's not maintained correctly, it can go left, right? And it's unfortunate. But I give them a compassion. Mine literally has women dropping him off and picking him up at my house, except there's nothing I can do about it except divorce filing. Hey, and sometimes that's all you need, right? Because one thing about him is he keeps going through stuff and he keeps having down moments and failures and not getting where he needs to be. So his life is always in chaos. He's always going to need somebody to supplement that. But as you and me talked about, a lot of that didn't work out for him until you came along. So now he has to go back into chaos. He has to be casted back into the shadow realm where he belongs, right? Without anyone saving him. He needs to go fail harder. So now that you get to go back to peace and you get to have everything that you set out for, that's what matters more, right? It's not ideal 100% because ideally you'd like to be able to share it with someone. However, sometimes it's like the trade-off. What's the trade-off here, right? Really laughed out loud at such a crazy manipulation. That was the first time I heard that. You definitely helped me see my stuff. That's because I love you. I'm so glad you caught me on social on a dating app, it just shows how much we love each other. I got on there looking for you to find me. I mean, I could have emailed you. I could have, waited. I could have sent you a message on social media, but nah, I went on a dating app hoping you would find me. Golly. I see there are nice men after me, but then they change. I'm ready to receive love. I realize I have issues with searching for more than just wanting a male valid. Yeah, you probably just need sessions with me, honestly. It sounds like there might be something going on. And that's where I would say talking to me is going to help, right? I love your pose and you're so handsome. Well, thank you, Miss Cassie. Miss Cassie came in with some sweetness today. You better be careful. All right? This just makes me reconsider starting dating again. Here's the thing. Don't let this stop you from dating, right? At the end of the day, there are millions of people. You're just hearing maybe 20 stories today. But compared to the millions, there's still a lot of good people out here. If anything, this should give you more awareness of what's happening out here, right? Just keep an eye open. This is to empower you, not to take you out. Because I believe all of y'all can achieve this happiness. I put some guy to that test, and thank God did he turn out to be a man with anger. Yeah, see, I told you. I'm telling you, the system is almost like clockwork. It's almost like clockwork. You wait 3 to 4 months to sleep with a guy, I'm telling you. You're going to see so much stuff in that short period of time. You're going to see so much stuff happen. And it's going to require him to do more. It's going to require him to step up more. He's going to have to get creative on how to bond with you. He's going to have to become that way with you. So the thing is, if you don't give him that time, like, do you know how much I would love it if a girl told me, or a woman, because that sounds weird, if a woman told me, hey, I like you and I really am attracted to you and I'd love to spend time with you, but however, I would really like to wait at least, a little while before we get seriously intimate, just to make sure that we're compatible on a friend level. I want to make sure that we have the same values, we can work through things, and we just get to know each other without getting too intimate too quick. I'm in love. I'm in love. You mean to tell me that you actually care about getting to know each other outside of the bedroom a little bit? Like, that is great. Because now we have to do so much more work. You know how much more work it is? It's actually more work if you think about it. To keep up a potential relationship without intimacy. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, but it's not 100% foolproof all the time. And you have to have your discernment up. Because even through that, if you don't have awareness or knowledge on how they can still manipulate you in that, because you can still be manipulated in that too. That's where you have to know yourself. You have to realize if something else is going on here. You got to pay attention to the early signs. Jesse, there were signs. He went above and beyond, but 90-day rule is the best. No kissing, no sleepovers, no sex. Yeah. A lot of these dudes don't know how to. It's like the hack, right? It's like they will get all twitchy and weird and be like, why do I gotta wait? Why, man? I'm a man. I'm alpha. I'm an alpha male. No, you ladies, all you want is money. All you want is money. You're a gold digger. And these dudes will say a woman is a gold digger, and 90% of the time, the woman that they're meeting probably offer to pay their own meal. They'll be like, hey, we could go Dutch. Dude's like, no, I'll pay. She's a gold digger. What kind of world do we live in? I feel like I'm in a pool of toxicity. Yes, people who have not done the inner work is pretty freaking obvious once you've healed all the traumas. Yeah. It's really obvious. Like, it's so obvious. That's why I'm like, if you miss it, But here's the thing, even if you've healed, you're not going to know, in my opinion, you're not going to know every single manipulation tactics. Right? Even if the signs are there, sometimes you don't know better. And I give grace to that. However, even if you don't know, you will definitely feel like something is off. You know? Like how I did. You guys saw me in real time look at what this dude said and dissect it. I've never heard that manipulation before. I've never heard that before. And I sat here and in 2 seconds, I turned it around. How come I can do that? You know, I don't know every single tactic, but I'm still able to say, let me question that for a second and look at it logically. How does that make sense? Why would you find me there? I waited 4 months, love bombing, then control and obsession, ex-federal agent, left in time. Yup. Signs were there, I just refused to see it. Hey, it's okay. Most of us, a lot of us do. A lot of us see problems in the beginning, just like a lot of dudes know what they're doing in the beginning. You know? We just normally don't think it'll get as bad as it does. We like to give people the benefit of a doubt. And that's giving people the benefit of a doubt is normally what gets us caught up a little bit more. May I ask, are you Hispanic? I feel like culture does matter in dating with men. Some men treat you differently. I think it could definitely have an effect on how they see things and go about things. But I like to attribute it more outside of culture, more based on the individual. Because I've met so many people that exist within a culture that don't act like it. They claim it and they don't act like it at all. But yeah, my mother is Puerto Rican. We lied to ourselves, exactly. In a lot of cases, yes, that's what I see. We gaslight ourselves, you know, because we want it to work. And I understand that. Hi, Coach. Hey, Carrie. Why is it so hard to let go of the illusion even with facts in our face? Because you're more attached to the emotion than the person. When you prioritize the emotion more than actually what's happening, then you can't walk away. So you don't want to let go of the feeling, and you don't want to let go of the potential you saw with that feeling. You have to sacrifice or give up that feeling and go back. That's hard for a lot of people. Man, we are cooking today on live, aren't we? Y'all got more questions? Y'all running out of steam? Is it time to do it? In love with potential and not reality. Yeah. They need to take your class. Thank you. Yeah, they don't even, it's not even potential. See, the way potential works is potential is something you see over a period of time, right? There's evidence for potential. A lot of us are saying a person has potential and we only saw them behave for like 3 months. It's 2 years later. What potential? What do you mean when you say, what do you mean, say, you don't bring me peace, but all you do is cater it? I don't know what that means. I could keep you on here for hours with my questions. Ha ha ha. You're gonna have to get an appointment. Because we could do way more than that. I dated that manipulator for 15 months and he wanted to marry me. It was really hard to let go. The same guy who says he found you on a dating app? I mean, I understand. It's hard to let go when you believe in them, when you believe their lies. But hey, it's a blessing that you figured it out because you deserve so much better. You deserve more than the illusion of good. You deserve actual good. Is it true that women are always on alert? I don't know. I think I can't answer for all women. I think that different women carry different ways of going about things, you know? But I'm sure that there are women in this chat that can answer that. I think that depends on the women individually. Are you dating right now? I occasionally get time to do it. I think right now I'm more focused on the mission. I'm focused on, building this up as best as I can and helping as many people as possible. That's what I've been called to do. But I do believe that at some point, my person will come along, and I'm open to it. I'm gonna need a one-on-one. Send me a DM. Send me a DM, because you have to apply for it, but there may be a chance that you will be picked. No guarantee, but I have an application system and I have people that look at it. Mine wanted to get married right away also. I should have seen it then. Yeah, because at that point it's like, why do you want to get married to someone if he hasn't? But you know how to figure out if there's some craziness behind that. How much does he look at how much you want to get married and you're ready for this? When it's coming from, I just want to marry you or I just want to have a kid with you, when there's a lot of I's in his statement, that's normally a sign that he's just trying to gain control over you. So sorry, I meant, is it that I'm always on alert? Is it weird? I feel like it didn't make it easier for me. No, I understand. I think you're saying like, You're trying to be on alert. Wait, what? Sorry, I'm stumbling. You got me tripping, stumbling. Jesse, I know you can sing the crap out of that song. I gotta have a song request from Miss Jessie. She can sing anything. A lot of eyes, exactly. When you hear a lot of I statements and he's trying to make it sound like it's in the benefit of you, be careful. No, not all women are on alert. Do you know all of this because you've done it or do it? I don't do it now. Can you imagine if I did that now? I would be canceled, girl. I would be canceled with a quickness. There would be some girl, there would be a lady that gets on social media and is like, yo, he is nothing like how he is all of the bad. Like, even if I wanted to, I couldn't afford to. But no, I don't do any of that now. I'm way past that part of my life. That was unhealed me. I have done it before, and that has given me a lot of the wisdom. But I've also gone through coaching and therapy myself, and I've also been helping women for over 7 years. I've helped thousands, and I teach a class. I've taught a class for over a year now. I've helped people individually, everywhere from, big name people. Like I've just helped a lot of people, so I have a lot of experience, ton of experience. Another flag is when all he talks about is his day and doesn't bother to ask how your day went, dismisses your comments of how your day went, just keep talking about himself. Oh, 100%. 100%. What made you want to realize you were manipulating? I didn't want to realize it. Someone fooled me into realizing it. Like I said, my counselor fooled me into realizing that I was manipulative. He played reverse psychology on me. And that's what started me down the road of saying, but here's the thing though. I always wanted to be a better person. So I already had that tool equipped in me because I had good parents. And, my good parents always wanted me to do the best I can in life. So that was already built in. But to find out I was manipulating, I had a counselor that kind of played a mind game with me. And through that mind game, I woke up. No worries. Well, when men start saying this and I go, merp, but it's the apologies, then I will do better garbage, just become numb. I don't know why I'm not following what you're saying today. Wow, me too. Always wanted to be better. Yeah, I always had that, ability in me where I always want to be better than I was yesterday. I always want to be a student. I always want to get better, get stronger, get smarter. And what made you think he the one? What do you mean? I didn't understand what that person said either. Cool. Because I was like, maybe somebody in the comments can help me, you know? I think they're trying to, probably put it together and maybe it's coming out in a way that they're not. I think they're trying to be understandable, but they're just trying to find the words. Why is it that men say, you don't give me peace, when in reality, that's all you're trying to do? Is that a reflection on them, or is that really a reflection on their partner? I don't know. Because here's the thing. You can try, but it doesn't mean that you're trying in a way that they need you to. Right? If he has a certain way that he wants peace, and you're trying to give him peace in a way that works for you, you know what I mean? You're trying to give him peace in the way that works for you, then it might not be working, right? Do you know his love language? If you are following his love language and his idea of good, and you're supplying that in a way that is particular to him, and it's still not working, then that's a reflection on him. If you're doing it in a way that works for you and you're not paying attention to how he needs it, then it's a reflection on you. I'll say that. So hopefully that helps. My ex-federal agent joked how he could slice my neck. That's not a joke. That's not even close to funny. That's just plain terrifying. What the heck? So glad he's your ex, because that sounds like a twisted person. What? Who jokes like that? I think your videos are really helpful. Thank you for your content. Thank you. You don't crave love from a woman. Somebody tells me most men don't crave love from a woman. I crave healthy love. I crave healthy love, but my craving for love doesn't overcome my need for healthy. Yeah, having a healthy life. See, what I do is I don't focus on what I don't have. I focus on what I do have. I have urges just like anyone else. I have urges where, for intimacy. I have urges for love, for validation, appreciation. I have all those urges. But if it comes with chaos, I don't want it. And more than ever, more than anything, I'm appreciative of what I do have. I like to look at glass half full, right? Do I have peace? Do I have a roof over my head? Do I have good people in my life? If I look at all of those things, that's three. If I say the one thing I'm missing is a good woman that I can see a future with, it doesn't sound that bad, right? If I only focus on the woman and I don't focus on the other things, then I'm going to come with a bad spirit, because then I'm going to put too much pressure on her. So yeah, I do crave it. I crave love. Don't get me wrong. I want it. Sometimes I walk down the street and I see couples and I'm like, me, But at the same time, I think that I have to be realistic, when it's my time, it's my time. And I'm on a timing of a higher purpose. It's not about me. Communicating in a way which your partner can understand. That's what Xavier means. Yep. We need peace language too, yes. Terrific. Thanks for the attention and feedback to all here. Absolutely. I want to compliment to my life and will be willing to wait for that, as should my counterpart. Exactly. Because you only need one, right? You only need one. You just need one person. That's the wonderful part about this life. You don't have to have 1,000, hundreds, right? You just need one good person and you're done. You can get out this game. So it's so simple, It looks tough, but it's simple. If you have all of that, however, the person you are with is asexual. Well, if you date a person that's in that, that comes with that, then I guess you're kind of signing up for the package, right? Like if it's not ideal for you, I mean, it's understandable, but is maybe if there's a way they could supplement that for you, that matters, right? How are they going to help you out there if you start getting that way? But also, that's where you got to be careful about who you choose because, you know, if that's a big deal for you, that might be tough. After cheating, we decided to go to couples counseling. I asked him to try therapy by himself, also to reflect on the work his problems. He told me he doesn't need it since he had to stop the cheating now. Now I'm seeing he's not willing to work on himself. Well, the first problem is that you had to tell him to work on himself. If he's actively seeing that there are problems in this relationship with you, and he's actively seeing that there's stuff going wrong, no matter what you or him try, and he's not suggesting it, and he's not taking that initiative, then why do you have to be the one? You don't have to play the role of, being the person to teach him. He needs to be willing to take that initiative to learn to become better for you. So that's what I would say the first problem is you have to keep making the suggestion. He needs to pull up his pants, be a big boy, and go work on this too. Because clearly it's not working by himself. The craving for me gets bad. It almost doubles me over. I have blessings, but I can't stop this need for love from a good man and leave the game. Well, that's honest, and I love that. And I never want you to deny your cravings and your urges. However, as humans, I don't think we are designed to have one urge dominate another at all times, right? I think that we have the potential to maneuver urges, right? So what I would say is this becomes an energetical practice where you shift energies and you learn to maintenance them until that person comes along. Because sometimes these energies are not good. Like for example, the energy of lust. That can be a very powerful energy that can take over, right? But at the same time, it can be lessened. Sometimes you'll have to fast. Sometimes you'll have to get in touch with a higher power. Sometimes you'll have to, move differently or have a mission, have a purpose that you're focusing on. Go do volunteer work. There are people that need you. If you're ever sitting around not doing much and you're just in your head, a lot of these urges will start to creep in because we're not meant to sit around and just do nothing. Sometimes we have to help people. Sometimes that's our purpose calling us. And if you're not going to go there, all these other bad influences are going to come in. So I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I think that's a wonderful thing. But for it to get so big to the point that it's unmanageable means we need to take some action, right? Healthy action, quality over quantity. I agree. First 3 years was intimate. The last 14, nada, no hand holding, no kissing, other than that pop kiss. He says I should see him for all his greatness. 14 years, and you're... Well, I mean, if that's what he wants, he can say that. However, if you need intimacy, then you need intimacy, and maybe you're just not compatible. That's why my coach told me too, I don't have to tell him, thank you. Absolutely. I want to know if covert narcissist fears if their ex is lawyer because his ex became a lawyer. Now I don't know what they feel for her. It doesn't matter. You can attach a lot of different variables to it, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. If they have covert narcissistic behaviors, that's going to happen regardless. I had to retrain my thoughts when it came to what turns me on. It's difficult, yes, but it's worth it. Our thoughts become our actions. You are 100% right. And our actions become our thoughts. What we do in the dark will come to light. Was with someone just for 6 months with the worst energy, blaming his cheating because of lust and steroids. Well, that shows he doesn't take accountability. Just to degrade me and portray himself onto me to find out he was cheating. Okay. By needing a restraining order so he would stop. I just want to know I can have that husband. I'm trying not to feel entitled. I just thought men wanted intimacy and partner as much as me. It sounds like there's more to what you're saying than what you're saying here. That message alone is telling me a lot without actually telling me. You know what I mean? So for you, I would say there's nothing wrong with the way that you're thinking, but I think that there might need to be some potential work. the way that you're talking to me. So yeah, I would say investing into that would be a good idea. When's your birthday? My birthday is March 17th, St. Patrick's Day. Can a narcissist change? Mine would never really apologize, and when he did, he always took it back. So yes, they can make changes. Yeah, I know a lot of narcissists that have made changes. But here's the thing, they have to want to. They have to want to. A lot of them don't, though. A lot of them don't. So I wouldn't count on it. My spouse lied about understanding my love language. There is no intimacy, only when he wants it. I feel so far away from him, and I fear that's how he wants it. Yeah, if he's okay with it. If he doesn't fight about how far away you feel or anything like that, then he's okay with it. What they do the most is what they're okay with. What do I do? At first, this guy was all over me. He didn't even want to stay minutes away from me. Calls always, explains everything. It's just 4 months. He has stopped putting effort. Well, that's because I think he might be done. Right? 4-month trial, 3 to 4 months. Didn't I clock it? I've been clocking it. For those of you that have been in this chat since the beginning, didn't I say 3 to 4 months? It's always that way. Why don't they take accountability when it's as clear and wrongful? Because they don't think that they would lose you if they don't take accountability. They think they can get away with it. You see, a lot of people that don't take accountability normally get away with not taking accountability. That's why they keep doing it. You help me. He can date his ex because he has a go. Okay. Like I said, I'm just going to repeat this for those of y'all that didn't hear earlier. I am having open spots for one-on-ones. I have 2 spots left. And if you want to get on and you want to join me and you want to see if you qualify, go ahead and apply. Type the hashtag word ready into my DMs and we will chat. I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean. I feel men change in this last generation. I'm doing everything I can to work otherwise, trying to let go. Well, you don't know what I mean because I didn't give you enough information, right? There's something that you're saying, something in what you're saying that's drawing me to believe that there's something else going on with you. And like, for example, in that statement, you say, I feel like it's the men, right? To some extent, that's probably true. But I would also say there's probably something going on within you, right? It's not all the men. Not every guy is the same. So why isn't it that you are energetically attracting the right kind of guys? That would be the next question I would ask, right? And that's where working with me can help. Because then I could say what you may do or not do that might not or might be repelling or might not be around the right kind of guys. So I'm just trying to, reveal something here. With love, of course. What if it's been more than 4 months and it's been on and off contact? Does that mean he's not interested or taking it serious? It's been more than 4 months and it's been on and off contact. Does that mean he's not interested or taking it serious? Oh, that's an easy one. Has he told you? Has he said he wants you to be his girlfriend? Has he said he looks to build a future with you and he's inviting you to everything and keeping you in the know of his whole life? Or is he not bringing that up? You would know. If a man wants you in his life, he's going to make it so obvious. And if you don't take accountability, then you don't know what's wrong or care to acknowledge it. So there will never be a change on their part, correct? Yep. People who don't take accountability are not going to change. They're going to stay in the same problem forever. They don't grow. I read yesterday that narcissists don't pick low, depressed people. They pick those of us who are strong and have light. They want to cling onto the ones who forgive easy and blame themselves. Well, they like both, right? But yes, there are a bunch of them that do go after those kinds of people. They don't care. Normally, they don't care. They just want someone who's going to put up with them and give them all the passes and mother them. And often that comes from women who are probably more successful. Because women who are not that successful probably don't have the capacity to do that. Started dating a man and told him I have kids, and he asked what I was looking for because he's not trying to be a stepdad. Then you dump him. There's no way that a dude can come into your life and not play stepdad role. If you have kids, then you're a package deal. That's not going to work. When he said, what are you looking for? He said that because he wants to hear you just want to hang out and have fun. Because how are you, that's such a weird reply. He could have just simply said, hey, I appreciate you telling me that. And, it's no offense to you or anything, but I'm just not looking to date someone with children. Okay, cool. That man will come with clarity. If he wants you, you won't bother about anything. The manipulative guy was very consistent with me, and he wanted to marriage, introduced me to his family, but he was very sneaky behind my back, so you never know with men. Yeah, but at the same time, I don't know your situation, but every time I hear someone tell me that, and like I said, you could be 100%, but look at what you just told me today, right? He said he was hoping you would go on Tinder to look for him. If he said stuff like that throughout your entire relationship, then, or he said anything like that, maybe you didn't have awareness, but I would say he probably showed signs earlier, but maybe you weren't aware, because love bombing and being consistent, yeah. But if a person has bad intentions, if you have the awareness and you have the knowledge, you can spot it. I don't think anyone is 100% perfect at getting away with lying and manipulating, right? But sometimes we don't know, right? Sometimes we just don't know. Or sometimes we see it, but we ignore it. Has been promising marriage and kids to a few women at once, really fast, because he wants to own them. He's looking at marriage as ownership. What is this? All right, so we're getting some appointments. Not all men are like that. No, not at all. No, there are a lot of good men. There's still a lot. I meet them all the time. There are a lot of great men that love women, that love their wives, that respect women, that are honorable, that don't sleep around, that don't mess around. There's a lot of great men out here that are looking to be the best they can. I agree with you. I saw some signs, but I gave him the benefit of the doubt. See, and that's what I mean. That's okay. What if he texts all the time but only sees me once a month? He stopped planning dates. Sounds like he's not really pressed about seeing you. I mean, I think the question's in the answer. The answer's in the question. I do the best I can to take accountability, but let's also be honest. I can't afford sessions. I have issues, but we all had love. Need love. I don't know. Well, I mean, if you can't invest in it, then maybe that's the next chapter, right? Because if you just do the best you can, but you're not receiving constructive criticism, then how do you know all on your own without any help, right? So that's what I mean. You'll have to just, get in touch with someone. Maybe there's insurance or something that you can go through to figure out what's going on with you. Is it true that a man can emotionally detach when being intimate with someone while still claiming their love for their, Emotionally detach when being intimate with someone while still claiming their love for their GF wife, or is that just a manipulation excuse? It's a manipulation excuse, in my opinion. Because sleeping with someone else while you have a girlfriend or a wife is not loving them. Love goes beyond the feeling. You know what I mean? It's beyond the connection, it's beyond the feeling. It's how he respects you behind closed doors. So if he's sleeping with other women and cheating on you, that's not loving you. Giving the benefit of a doubt. Hey, we all do that. You know what I'm saying? And to some extent, there's nothing wrong with giving a little bit of the benefit of a doubt, right? It's nothing wrong with that. Like, some people need that. You got to give people grace, but you just have to be careful on how much grace you give them. None of that grace should include you getting disrespected, you getting your boundaries crossed, you being represented in the wrong ways. You know what I mean? And you need to see that they are actively working towards growth at all times. Feel, but they can't. They can really make you feel crazy. Yeah, they can. Probably because they crazy. Why do we give men more chances than they give us? I don't think that's always the case. I think there are a lot of good men, or there are a lot of men on the other side that experience exactly what you experience. A lot of the things that I'm hearing from you, I'm hearing from men on the other side as well that act in the same way. There are a lot of actually very willing men out here that give a lot of grace to a lot of ladies. You just don't hear about it, right? There are a lot of ladies that are not actually victims. There's a lot of ladies that are manipulators too. And they take advantage of these good men and they play them and they mess with their heads. And these men give them endless chances. So what I would say is, this is just all you're hearing about. There are men that are in the same position as you are. There are men that don't have strong boundaries and have to tell themselves, I need stronger boundaries. I need to say what I feel. I need to step up. I need to stand up for myself. There's dudes like that on the other side too. What I would say the problem is that you have men and women on either side that are dealing with people that don't respect them. And sometimes they constantly put themselves in the state of dealing with someone that doesn't respect them. It's on both sides. And then sometimes when they find a person that respects them, they don't trust it. So I think it's going on for both, right? It's not a woman thing strictly. It's not a men thing strictly. It's going on both sides. We are not that much different than it might seem. You know, I think society and social media tries to divide us and make us feel like we're so different. There isn't that much of a difference between us. You know, there are some subtle differences, but for the most part, we are exactly alike. There you Okay. Is there a genetic component to narcissism? Mine had 3 family members who committed. He rose and became a Fed. So no, narcissism is normally formed. At least that's what research says, right? It is a formed personality. It is not a born with one. I'm sure people can be born with it. I don't know. But from the research, it's formed. So probably habits. Now, I don't know if there's a genetic DNA workup from people who commit murder, right? Because they would say, you know, that killer instinct is a thing. But I think that it is formed. Now, for them to commit murder, that's a whole nother thing. You know? And sometimes that's not always a personality, a psychological issue. Sometimes people just do that. Not everything can be contributed to a psychological issue. I think sometimes we apply psychological dysfunction to things that we're not comfortable with to try to like make it sound normal or like more just like predictable. But the reality is some people just do it. Some people are normal like you and me, and they go out and they just do crazy things. Because we fear what we don't understand. Yes, that is a great statement. That's why we want to apply labels. You know, we want to apply labels. Labels make us feel safe again. Because then if we apply a label, then we apply everything in that label and we feel like we have them figured out. But the reality is what we're doing is actually could be more damaging. Because if you apply a label to everyone and there's no nuance, then they might actually hurt you. You might actually be giving them the keys to get away with hurting you. So sometimes you don't want to apply a label that much. You kind of just want to look at the behaviors and call them out for the behaviors rather than the label. Is it true that giving a man everything he wants will push him away? A bad man, yes. If you give a bad man what he wants, it will push him away because he's not looking to get everything he wants. He's looking to conquer you. So giving him what he wants means that there's no more challenge. He's chasing ego. So an ego-driven, bad or not good guy for dating, yeah, if you give him everything he wants, he's out. Because he was never really interested in healthy. So honestly, giving someone a lot can be a great way to find out who they are. What can make a man not want to lose you, be really scared to lose you? He has to be a healthy man. That's the first thing. He has to be healthy. And then if he's healthy and you do healthy things, then he's naturally not going to want to lose you because he sees that value in you. But if he's unhealthy, he's not going to even think about you. He's going to think about what you do. You see what I'm saying? He's not going to be worried about losing you. He's going to be worried about losing what you do for him. Hopefully that helps. Yeah, you can't really make an unhealthy man afraid of losing you. You can make him afraid of losing the task that you do for him, the servitude mindset that you get into for him. How to get over a guy who ghosted you. Look at it as a blessing. That's not my husband. Your husband is still out there. Congrats, you found out. And hopefully it didn't take you long. Sometimes it's just a little bit of perspective shift, right? Well, we are cooking today, aren't we? Let me see. If you got more questions, let me know. I'm still on. We're still getting it done, and I am ready. Let her cook. Play some music in this piece. I think they're out of questions. I think everybody's emptied out. They're like, you solved all our problems. We're all going to be in healthy relationships now. We're all happy. So I should see a bunch of weddings coming up in the next year or two. Is it best to go no contact while divorcing a narcissist? If that's what works for you, yeah. I'm just looking at the DMs to see if I got everybody. You give excellent answers, the right one. She said, don't play. I'm trying to get over a guy. Not narcissistic. Well, why can't you get over him? I feel like I'm stuck in a situation where he's not happy but won't leave either, just lies and stays. Are you staying too? Is it both ways? So I just found out that this last weekend, my ex for 4 weeks just took his children away for the next with his next victim. Why do we always think that someone else will get a better version? Because they probably will. You know, like it's not a thought. It's real. Like he's going to have a new start with someone else that he started with you as, because now it's a whole new chapter. But at the end of the day, you have to remember character is always going to show, right? But yeah, there's always a possibility that they're going to treat the next person better, especially to spite you because now they've learned everything from you. Or they're going to get with the next person and they're going to ruin their life too, just like they mess with yours. Or they get better. This is one of the hardest things to come to terms with, but all of that is possible. How do you make them come back? You can't make anyone come back. You know? At least not in a healthy way. It depends. Like, I don't know your situation. You are raising the planet's vibrations. Let's clone you, X. Haha. Nah, because then he's going to be competition. Is that bamboo in the back? What? Oh, wow. Yeah, those plants, they do have a certain bamboo-like stand, but they're not real. They're not real. Thank you, Coach. Of course. Yeah, they're not real. I love plants, and I couldn't help but ask. Ha ha. I like plants too. Plants are peaceful. Plants won't ghost you. Well, like I said, if you want to work with me one-on-one, if you want to get into one of the two spots, if you want to find out if you qualify, go ahead and send me DM with the hashtag word ready. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and jump off for the day. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I hope you have a great rest of your evening. We will talk again later. And have a good rest of your day, y'all. We'll do this again. Bye, y'all.